Breaking and positive news for those of you who are waiting for a second stimulus check. President Trump just expressed his support for another round of stimulus. Millions of Americans are still reeling from the economic hardship that has been caused by the pandemic, and now a second stimulus check is looking more likely than ever, and President Trump would be in favor of it. Whether or not you receive another stimulus check, be sure that you do stimulate that like button. Be sure that you smash the like button. It will just help with YouTube algorithm, so YouTube will actually push the video to more people. It will greatly help me out, and I hope you enjoy the value that you are getting so far. So if you just want to hit that like button, I'll greatly appreciate it. Firstly, during an interview in which he was asked by Scripps reporter Joe St. George asked him whether he plans to give another cash payment to some Americans, and Trump said, quote, "Yeah, we are, quote, we will be doing another stimulus package. It'll be very good, it'll be very generous." Now, Trump was also asked about a specific amount. He did not comment on how much the check will be. He said, "You'll find out." And even though some congressional Republicans and White House officials are skeptical and leery about sending more stimulus checks, Trump reportedly has told aides that he would be in favor of sending more checks as well. Now, the White House has not officially taken a stance or position on this matter, but this would create a divide within the Republican Party of some Republicans who are against it and some who are. And just for some context, Congress in March did pass the CARES Act that provided $1,200 to every American making less than $75,000 per year. And that was passed in March, but we have not had another stimulus package or any further cash payments directly into the hands of Americans since then. And as of the beginning of June, the IRS has now sent these payments to more than 159 million American households. So although the number is not specific and defined, House Democrats did pass the HEROES Act last month, which would include another $1,200 round of stimulus checks to many Americans, and even more so than the CARES Act included, as this expands the number of people and who can actually qualify for it. And by the way, if you'd like to see if you would qualify for a second stimulus check, I just made a video covering who would qualify. That link will be down below in the description. Be sure that you check that out after watching this video. The HEROES Act has already been panned by Republicans, and Trump has already declared it dead on arrival, so don't get your hopes up for this package, but the next relief bill could certainly include another round of stimulus checks. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did tell reporters in Kentucky that another relief package could be coming soon, possibly by July, but the Senate will not be voting for the HEROES Act until after July 4th. We don't know for a fact if this next package will include more cash payments, but if Trump is in favor of it, that is definitely a good signal. Several Senate Republicans have suggested that they're more inclined to providing financial assistance to cash-strapped states and to boost Social Security benefits. Trump has also floated the possibility of a payroll tax cut, which would put more people back to work, as well as a travel credit that they also recently covered that would actually give Americans a $4,000 tax credit for traveling, for the travel industry, for restaurants, and things of the like, and I did a video on that as well. The link will be down below in the description. But Democrats are strongly against and oppose a payroll tax cut, arguing that it would not provide direct financial assistance to Americans who are struggling and unemployed right now. I'm curious to know if you would be in favor of a payroll tax cut. Tell me down below in the comments if you'd be in favor for that, or if you'd be more in line with another stimulus check. Now, internally in the Trump administration, there is a dichotomy, a separation of officials who want to see another stimulus check go out to Americans. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, he expressed earlier this month that he'd be open to more direct payments, and he expressed support for the initiative. But other administration officials like Larry Kudlow, he's the director of the National Economic Council, he expressed skepticism about cutting government checks en masse again, particularly to people who have already received one. The first stimulus check drew a lot of criticism, even subsequently followed up with lawsuits to the Trump administration. There were roadblocks reported in accessing the funds with lots of glitches and technical errors, and there was also substantial controversy when the Treasury Department printed Trump's name on the paper checks, and when the IRS sent taxpayers a letter on White House letterhead praising the administration's economic response to the pandemic. Republicans have strongly opposed a second stimulus check, specifically the one that was proposed in the HEROES Act, as it would expand to unauthorized immigrants and the size of money for dependents would increase. So far, no Republicans have proposed an alternative to the HEROES Act, which will definitely not be passed. However, we could expect the HEROES Act to be ratified, completely reformed, or come up with something totally new and totally scratch the bill. It bodes well that a majority of Democrats and Republicans would be in favor of a second stimulus check. That's definitely a good sign. As far as the amount, I couldn't envision seeing less than $1,200. As we know, some Democrats have been a lot more aggressive with that. I've covered other proposals on this channel. But for example, we had at the beginning of May, Senators Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and Ed Markey unveil a bill that would give most Americans a monthly payment of $2,000 until the virus began to fade. And this is a nod to a universal basic income championed by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang. There was also a House proposed bill back in April that I also covered. All these links will be down below, where senators called for $2,000 cash payments to every American who earned less than $120,000, and it would expand to $4,000 for married couples and also provide an extra $2,000 for each child up to 3. That means families with 3 children could theoretically receive a whopping $10,000 per month. And Republicans are railing against an end to the $600 federal payments that are included with the unemployment benefits that unemployed people are receiving. Surely they would be against families receiving up to $10,000. Republicans have also pitched the idea of a back-to-work bonus, which I covered on this channel. We also saw Texas Representative Kevin Brady, who is the top Republican on the House Ways and Means Committee. He proposed a bill that would currently give to unemployment beneficiaries a back-to-work bonus per se. It's a one-time lump payment of $1,200 or 2 weekly payments of $600. The back-to-work bonus that we covered was from Senator Rob Portman of Ohio. He would provide $450 weekly to laid-off Americans returning to work in addition to their wages. Now, in both of these cases, the money would last through July 31st, which happens to be the same date in which the $600 unemployment benefits federal cash payments do end. It's not shocking that President Trump would be in favor of one more final round of stimulus checks, as we do have an election season right around the corner, and he is trying to get reelected. He may or may not want to include the 2016 Make America Great Again slogan on the letters. Republican senator from South Dakota, a Republican, he expressed sentiment that he would not be in favor of another round of stimulus. He said, quote, recently to reporters, a lot of these stimulus checks that have gone out right now, people have been saving money and putting it into their savings accounts. He said, for me, let's get people back to work. I think there's a better way. Republican Senator from Utah, Mitt Romney, he also opposes another round of stimulus checks in favor of adjustments to the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, for small businesses, as well as extending unemployment benefits at a lower level than approved by Congress in March. So Mitt Romney would not be necessarily in favor of the $600 extension, but perhaps something smaller than that, or something that wouldn't extend all the way to the end of January, in which Democrats proposed in the HEROES Act. Republican Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina, he did suggest that he would back smaller versions of the initial measure if it was targeted for, quote, the people who are hurting the most. I think we could pretty confidently say that we will see another stimulus check. The amount is technically unknown. $1,200 is looking like it will be the figure though. But either way, I would have faith in seeing another stimulus check. But I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, be sure that you give the video a big thumbs up, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos from my channel, I post videos every single week covering business, finance, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure that you subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified every single time I make a new video so that you're first in line to see it before anyone else does, be sure that you do click that little notification bell as well so that you're notified every single time I make a new video. See you in the next one.